people know that the roots of the modern gun start here, with the medieval crossbow. ROM curator Corey Keeble and marksman Andre Reed walk us through the evolution of the firearm, starting with the gun that took over from the crossbow.
Andre has just provided for comparison a musket of the period, well, style is sort of 1610, 1630, and you can see that the trigger mechanism has essentially the same shape.
Yes.
And this is transfer of technology because the idea for this originates with this. By the early 1500s, crossbows of the type that Chris is holding had become obsolete for use in warfare. They were relegated to use for hunting, whereas it was the simple matchlock that took over. Now, the
matchlock was the first mechanism or lock invented to facilitate the use of a firearm. This design made it possible to have both hands free, to keep a firm grip on the weapon when firing, and more importantly, to keep both eyes on the target.
About 100 years later, they invented the flintlock mechanism, and this is a flintlock mechanism.
The basic goal of the flintlock is simple: to create a spark that can light the gunpowder stored in the barrel of the gun.
And the flintlock is a masterpiece. Is this original?
This is a reproduction.
This is a reproduction. It's very good reproduction. It's absolutely splendid. Okay, plain old smooth bore like our matchlock here. I guess it's not going to be very accurate, is it?
Up to 50 meters, you should be able to get a 6-inch group.
Okay, and what about this one? How's the accuracy on this one?
Up to 100 meters, I'll do a 1-inch group.
Actually, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good.
But
that's amazing. Oof.
The powders today are much far superior than they were 100 years ago, and they're consistent. And we know more about ballistics today than they did in the 1800s.
The flintlock remained popular until the mid-1800s, when it was replaced by the percussion cap lock.
This is an original 1861 Springfield.
Oh gosh, it's amazing.
The percussion rifle uses a percussion cap instead of flint to create the necessary spark. Faster reloading and fewer moving parts made this rifle more versatile and rugged compared to other single-shot rifles. By the time of the American Civil War, nearly all guns manufactured used the percussion cap.
100 years after the crossbow, this is a matchlock. 100 years later, this is a flintlock rifle. And about 100 years later, there was the percussion rifle, and this brings us up into the American Civil War period. And right there, you've got 400 years of military firearms. It all starts with the crossbow.
And it all starts with the crossbow.